What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. We have major updates on the Khephren Thuram transfer situation, and also Liverpool are keeping Ryan Gravenbech as a big and great second option if the Khephren Thuram transfer doesn't work out. At the moment, Khephren Thuram and Manu Kone are with France at the Euro Under-21 Championships. So Liverpool are right now negotiating with Khephren Thuram's club Nice. That was confirmed by David Lynch, a Liverpool correspondent working for various newspapers, and he said that Liverpool remain in talks over a deal for Khephren Thuram. Sources have told him the 22-year-old's contract runs until 2025, so he has 2 years left on his contract, and this is the best time for Nice to sell him. And Nice have finished outside of European places. I think they finished in 8th place in the French league, so they won't qualify for European competition. And of course Nice would love a bidding war to emerge. Liverpool don't want to sign Khephren Thuram right now during the European Championships because they fear that a long-term injury would ruin the money spent on Khephren Thuram. So we want to wait until the Euros finished, and we are banking on Khephren Thuram not having an incredible European Under-21 Championship, or Khephren Thuram, hopefully his price won't get a lot higher, and that's a risk that Liverpool are willing to take. So guys, if you are excited about this transfer news and if you enjoy my videos, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest updates on Liverpool's transfer deals. And it is believed that for Thuram a deal is possible, but Ryan Gravenbech could emerge as a key target if Liverpool cannot reach a breakthrough with Nice for the midfielder. I think that will not be the case. Liverpool will get a transfer done for Khephren Thuram. That's just my feeling, and I gathered a lot of information in recent weeks over this deal, and I think Nice wouldn't ask for more than 40-45 million euros, which will be around 35-40 million pounds, which I think is a reasonable price for a brilliant powerhouse midfielder who has everything. He has bags of energy, athleticism, dynamism, work rate, pace, physicality, everything that Liverpool have lacked in midfield last season. Khephren Thuram has those qualities in abundance. Gravenbech also has been a long-term target for Liverpool, and Liverpool were interested in a deal even before he made the move from Ajax to Bayern Munich. He only started one game in the Bundesliga. Under Thomas Tuchel he played a little bit more, so at the moment Gravenbech is not happy at Bayern, and if he doesn't get guarantees over his playing time, then he wants to leave. And Neil Jones, another Liverpool-based journalist who works for the Goal news outlet, he said that Gravenbech would jump at the chance to leave Bayern Munich and to join Liverpool. He said, I think it's clear that he wants to leave Bayern. I think it's obvious. I think the question is obviously what the price will be for Gravenbech. I think Bayern would sell him as well. It's not one that you put all your eggs in, wait all summer for them to become available, and then finally we get Gravenbech over the line in August or at the end of the transfer window. I don't think he's that game changer of a player. I think it's more if there is a deal that can be done quite early in the window, then let's get it done. That's Liverpool's position at the moment. I don't think Liverpool would forego other targets and really let the saga drag on into the preseason and beyond for someone like Gravenbech. If the deal is to be done, I think it needs to be done pretty soon. I'm quite on board with Gravenbech as a signing. Neil Jones continued, a player who has got a good mix of technique, physicality and size. He's young, he's got something to prove. He's got a bit of resentment maybe harboring. He's really motivated to show the world that he can compete at the top level. I think all those ingredients make for a pretty interesting Jurgen Klopp kind of player. I definitely think Gravenbech is one that we should be keeping an eye on. So Liverpool have some good options in the transfer market. Manu Kone is another. Gravenbech is the fourth option in the midfield. They are different kind of profile of a player. Khephren Thuram and Gravenbech are quite similar, but the other two, Manu Kone is more of an out-and-out defensive midfielder and Gravenbech is more of an attacking midfielder. But the fact that Rafa Benitez has been confirmed as the new Celta Vigo manager maybe means that Rafa Benitez would be willing to do a deal with Liverpool, and I'm sure he would say a lot of good things about Liverpool as a football club, because Rafa Benitez, he still lived on Merseyside before accepting this job in Spain to be manager of Celta Vigo. And if Gabri Veiga asks Rafa Benitez what it's like to be at Liverpool, I'm sure he would give glowing references on the football club. And circling back to the Ryan Gravenbech transfer, if Liverpool promise him regular game time, then he would jump at the chance to leave Bayern, because he is very disgruntled, disappointed, frustrated, annoyed. He expected to play a lot more, I'm sure, at Bayern Munich than just being a substitute, because he played, as I said, one Bundesliga game from the start and a few in the Champions League and in the German Cup, but otherwise he was always on the bench, sometimes not even coming on as a substitute, and that must have been frustrating as hell for Ryan Gravenbech. And Liverpool have to get their transfers done as soon as possible, because Jurgen Klopp said that he would prefer Liverpool's transfer deals to be done before pre-season kicks off, and that's just 2 weeks away. July the 8th, I think, is the date when Liverpool's pre-season kicks off, and that's fast approaching. We are now on the 24th of June, so a little bit over 2 weeks, and we start pre-season, or exactly 2 weeks from now, Liverpool start pre-season. But Jurgen Klopp said that for some of the very talented players, Liverpool might have to wait, and we might have to wait a few weeks or maybe even a month to get all of our transfer deals done, because this transfer window is tricky. There are a lot of clubs with a lot of money, a lot of clubs looking to sign midfielders, and Liverpool of course are looking to sign midfielders as well. So basically Neil Jones and David Lynch confirmed that Gravenbech is the alternative to Khephren Thuram if Liverpool can't sign Khephren Thuram from Nice. So Khephren Thuram is our #1 target and Ryan Gravenbech is our #2, and they are both really good, high profile, very talented midfielders. But I don't really expect any transfer to be done during the European Under-21 Championship with regards to Khephren Thuram, just like we couldn't get the transfer of Alexis McAllister done before the Premier League season was over. But there were already articles on us being interested in Alexis McAllister, so I'm giving you guys as fresh updates as possible on this transfer situation. And both Khephren Thuram and Gravenbech are very young, energetic, athletic, excellent midfielders. Either of them I would be really happy if we signed. And I think it was even obvious last summer that Liverpool needed starting midfielders. Of course nobody foresaw the sharp decline in Fabinho's form, but everybody knew that Thiago is injury prone, that Naby Keita is injury prone, Oxlade-Chamberlain is injury prone. Everybody knew that Henderson was way past his best, and yet Liverpool didn't sign a starting midfielder last summer. And we paid a big price for that. We went out of the Champions League early, FA Cup early, League Cup early, and we surrendered in the Premier League title race very early, and we even missed out on Champions League football. Liverpool had a great start to this transfer window. We already have one starting midfielder in, but we need another one. I think Khephren Thuram could be good enough to be a starting player for Liverpool. We already have squad players like Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, and Thiago is still injury prone. Fabinho has been in a decline of form for the past year now. Henderson is way past his best. He's way past being a regular starting player at the very top level. So Liverpool should look to sign a player good enough to walk into Liverpool's best starting 11. Is Khephren Thuram that player? That remains to be seen. We can only judge on the scouting reports from the Liverpool scouts that he's good enough, and I trust them, and hopefully he will rise to the occasion of playing for a really big club. And Bajcetic is a literal teenager who we have to carefully manage. We don't want to overplay young players so they burn out. We basically played Harvey Elliott in pretty much every game for the first like 6 months of the season, and then he had to be carefully managed so not to burn him out towards the end of the season. But it shows how big of a mess Liverpool's midfield were in. That basically Harvey Elliott, another teenager, was playing every game. either as a starter or as a substitute for the first 5 or 6 months of the season. And also Bajcetic from the youth team could walk into our starting lineup and be one of the best players in Liverpool's midfield is also not a glowing reference to the other senior midfielders at Liverpool. And if you look over to our rivals, Arsenal are spending £65 million on Kai Havertz. Man City are looking to spend close to £100 million on Guardiola. And I mean, Man United are signing Mason Mount, who has 1 year left on his contract, for like £60 million. Man City and Arsenal are battling it out for Declan Rice, who will go for 80, 90, maybe even £100 million. Of course, we don't have the money of Man City, but we definitely have more money than Arsenal. So where can Arsenal keep spending 150, 200 million pounds continuously every year? Liverpool absolutely have to spend at least 150 million to remain competitive in the Premier League. And I'm not even talking about, you know, Liverpool building a title winning squad. I'm just talking about Liverpool remaining competitive and staying or getting back into the top 4 rather. Gravenbech at Ajax was pretty great, but Gravenbech at Bayern Munich, I'm not so keen on him as I was 1 year ago. And Khephren Thuram is a more versatile player. He can play a number 8 box-to-box midfielder role, he can play the number 6 defensive midfield role, so he's a lot more versatile. And the Liverpool fans are getting frustrated because this summer was advertised as a large-scale rebuild with hundreds of millions of pounds available to Liverpool. I mean, Jamie Carragher on the Overlap show said that Liverpool will spend at least £200 million this summer. We went from Jude Bellingham to now players who cost 50, 60 million pounds being too expensive for Liverpool. So what on earth is going on? The excuses have already started coming out. After we just spent 35 million pounds on one midfielder, and yes, he's a brilliant world-class midfielder, Alexis McAllister, who would cost 50-60 million in a normal situation, but 35 million, that's all we spend, and then we have to wait probably weeks for our next transfer. The sooner FSG dip into their pockets or secure an investment into Liverpool FC and start spending bigger, the better, because how can Liverpool fans expect Liverpool Football Club to compete when and I don't want to keep bashing our owners, it's really disappointing that FSG are not backing Jurgen Klopp with enough transfer funds to compete just with Arsenal. Arsenal spent 5 seasons outside of the Champions League places, and yet they are spending more money than Liverpool. I mean, explain that. It's absolutely inexcusable. And if FSG don't sell Liverpool FC, or if FSG don't change their strategy drastically, can you see Liverpool winning the Premier League again in the near future, winning the Champions League again in the near future? I mean, Jurgen Klopp can work miracles, and if we can get the right profile of players in, then we have a chance more of winning the Champions League, because the Premier League, Man City are just relentless. Every season they are getting 90, 95 points. And I mean, even Liverpool with 97 and 92 points, we ended up in 2nd place because Man City just went 1 point better. It's very disappointing as a Liverpool fan to see that, but Liverpool can still build a squad good enough to challenge for the league and the Champions League. If Jurgen Klopp is just given just the minimum 100, 150 million, just sign one more midfielder, one more centre back who can play right back, and we could have a squad good enough to challenge. Liverpool just need legs and dynamism and athleticism and energy in midfield, because if our high pressing is working full pitch, Liverpool could be back to our best, because in terms of firepower, Liverpool still have one of the most deadly and one of the most potent attacking departments in the Premier League and in Europe. I mean, there are not many teams who have better strikers, better forward players than us. Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota. These are 5 players who, if they stay fit, they can easily score 15 to 20 goals per season, each of them. If Jota stays fit, he can easily score 20-25 goals. If Darwin Núñez stays fit and he just converts a little bit more of his chances, he could easily score 20-25 goals. Mo Salah is regularly scoring 25-30 goals. Cody Gakpo with a full season could easily score 15 to 20 goals. And Luis Diaz, very similar numbers, 15 to 20 goals he could easily score. Luis Diaz scored a brilliant header for Colombia, where Germany hosted a friendly game against Colombia at home, and Colombia won 2-0, and Luis Diaz scored a brilliant header from a Cuadrado cross. It was a fantastic goal, and Germany lost to Colombia for the first time in their history. Colombia's, that's a famous win, even if it was in a friendly game. So yeah, let me know, how do you see Liverpool's chances next season? What kind of transfers do you want Liverpool to make? Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.